Welcome to the Sensitive Biker Podcast, and this is the next episode of Close Up and Personal. And this episode is gonna be life after gangs, how problematic it can be sometimes to change your life from one side to the other. And today I have with me Kenneth.
Thank you.
And we're gonna talk a little about this subject. Would you tell me your full name and a little about your history?
Of course, my name is Kenneth Juman Nordendorf, and I am from a little town called Rødby on Lolland. It's a little province, a little town in Denmark, right? Yeah. I grew up with a family that's loving and caring. They had money. There wasn't really any issue, but they worked hard. So I felt like I got neglected a little bit. So yeah, they would like to give me all they didn't had themselves as children, and they worked so hard they maybe forgot about the children a little bit, right? I have two sisters. My one sister is dead, and my other sister is social worker. Yeah. And actually, my childhood was, as I remember, lonely, a little bit lonely, actually. And when I was growing up, I was a little bit of a bully. I was bullying other children, maybe because I felt neglected and I want to push my anger towards other children, right? So I was a little bit of a bully and a shit child, honestly, right? And then I got in my teens, and in my teens I lost my sister, and my parents got to jail. They were sent to jail, right? Okay. In the city court, they got 5 years of prison time, right?
Why? What happened to your sister?
My sister, she died of cancer. Okay. And she got so, it was so severe. She was only 22 years old, studying law school. And in Denmark, they said they couldn't do anything for her. So my parents threw some money at some project in China. Okay. And my dad traveled with my sister to China. And then she got a heart attack. She died, right? There wasn't anything to do for her. Okay. And that was fucking dark. That was a very fucking dark time for me, as I remember, right? And
your parents had to go to jail because of this?
No. My parents got to jail because of they got shops, right? Yeah. Clothing stores, and one of them burned down. Okay. And the police, at that time, the police is. What do you call it? Arson
they did
investigate. Yeah, the police did it, not the fire technicians, right? Yeah. So they just assumed that their child is just dead. Of course, they are burning the shops down, right? Okay. They got hvad siger vi frikendt? They
got off. Yeah. They got out of jail again?
They got out of jail again, yeah. They were sentenced to 5 years, but in the court of Denmark said they didn't do it. Okay. So they got out there, right? But they were in jail in quite a bit of time. Yeah. And then it was just me and my other sister, and she was very young too, right? And then I picked up marijuana and started drinking alcohol and started taking amphetamines. At a very young age, right? 14 years old, I think it was, yeah. Okay. So that's where it all started, the fucking darkness, right? Yeah. And, yeah.
So when did you get introduced to gangs and stuff like that?
When I was about 15 years old, I saw them in the city picture, right? And we all thought they were cool guys. And I was a very aggressive child, and they really liked that. So I was very aggressive, right? And then I started to just hang with them a little bit, right? Dealing some fucking drugs, I dealt mostly marijuana and amphetamines at that point. Okay. I didn't deal so much because I snorted all myself, so right? So I didn't deal too much, but...
You didn't make any money?
No, I didn't make any money at all, man. And that were for about 3 or 4 years, you know, right, with that shit, and just violence, a lot of violence. I really liked violence, more than all the money, and you know, I just want to do drugs and fucking rage all over, you know, right? I had a lot of hatred in my body for the world because all these things happened to me, you know, right? After my parents got out of jail, my uncle he killed himself, and my best friend he hung himself. Okay. You know, so it was all fucking dark. There were no light at all. No. So I just got consumed by this darkness, and it was held in it for 14 years or something like that. You know, right? Okay. But the gangs, when I joined the gang, I was about 18 years old. Yeah. I joined a gang called Black Cobra, a Danish gang. They were also in Sweden, but it was a big Danish gang in back in the time. You know, right? Yeah. It was what do you call it? Immigrant gang. Do you call it that? Yeah, but it was mostly immigrants that were in the Black Cobra. Yeah. We had an alliance with the Hells Angels, and when I started there, you know, right, I was a reckless child. I didn't know consequences at all, at fucking all. But I got learned consequences because I kicked doors in with pushers that belonged to another gang. Okay. You can't do that. No. So they met up at the club and said, "Where the fuck is Kenneth? We need to speak with Kenneth." And I was like, "I'm fucking Kenneth. What the fuck do you want?" And this guy was an MMA fighter, you know, right? Yeah. So he just kicked the shit out of me. He just beat me the fuck up. I slept for 2 days, I think so. It's fucking crazy. But that day I learned consequences. Yeah. And then you adapt after that, you know, right? So you can't fuck around. Because these guys are serious. It's not those city boys in the clubs. Yeah. These guys, they fucking mean business. Yeah. So I started to learn a lot about respect from my elders, and you know, in a gang you get indoctrinated. A little bit indoctrinated in a gang, you know, right? Like mostly like radical Islam or like you know, Nazi parties, you know, right? Yeah. You get you have this together. Yeah. Fuck everybody else. This is ours, you know, right? And you want to do a lot of things for that shit. Yeah. Yeah.
You get a lot of narrow-sighted.
Yeah, really narrow-sighted.
Us against the world.
Yeah. Yeah. Really, it really is. Yeah. You feel like that. Yeah. It wasn't, but you know, the feeling was real. Yeah.
When the war came, were you in it?
I weren't in the war. I were in conflicts and also shooting conflicts, you know, right? But we're not in the war.
Not in the war with any other rival gangs? Or
we were in a war with rival gangs, but we were not in the big war, you know, right? But we were in a war with a rival gang. And
not the big one with the Hells Angels?
No. That Black Cobra, they did an alliance with Hells Angels because of the other immigrants. So Hells Angels felt the need to join with an immigrant gang, you know, right? Yeah. But after that, it was there was peace in a long time, actually. Also with the other gangs, I can't speak too much about all these things. I need to remember that. But
did you lose any brothers?
Only to drugs.
Only to drugs.
Yeah. I lost my my good friend's dad got shot up, but I didn't lose any brothers to bullets or anything like that. No. Only drugs.
Yeah. How many?
I lost Malte, and I lost Mikkel, and I lost Julian. Three guys.
Yeah, I lost 3 guys too when I was about 16. They wanted to see how it was to take a fix, and they did it in an apartment in Copenhagen, and they all died.
So, of that?
Yeah.
Together?
They took too much because they didn't know how. So 2 of them died in their apartment. The third one died in the ambulance at the way to the hospital.
Heroin or what?
Yeah, it was heroin. So don't mess with that, folks.
Have you ever tried heroin?
No, after that I was pretty much done.
That's good. That's fucking good.
I didn't dare, and it was like I had this voice in my head that said, if you're gonna start doing this, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
So I didn't do it. I did pills, I did alcohol, and I was addicted to violence as you as well. You know, the adrenaline kick you get when you're one group fighting another group and just attacking each other.
Yeah. It feels good.
Yeah, it feels good.
It feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucked up, but it feels good.
Yeah, but it is fucked up.
Yeah.
But it really feels good, and if it only was the violence, you can meet in the fucking forest and you can fight, you know. But it wasn't. It was not only that. You know, right?
It's also it's the way you feel about yourself. For me, it was the anger I had inside, and I couldn't have it there because it was eating me up from the inside. I had to get it out, and I didn't know how.
Yeah.
So it was easier just beating up someone else
Beating
instead of beating up myself.
Yeah, beating someone up or fucking some girl, you know, right? Just everything to get the fuck out of this head.
Yeah.
Drugs and all this, you know. My friends, they mostly died of pills, you know, Xanax, Benzo, and all that shit, you know, right? It almost killed me too. I got a heart attack, and that's why I got clean in the first place. I'm not clean now, but when
did you take an overdose, or did you know it, or
no? No, I was in a period of a time where it just fucking escalated. Okay. So you have more resistance, more cocaine and alcohol, and I was I can't say this, but I was with some girl, you know, when I got that.
Okay.
Yeah. So I fucking died while I was inside her, you know. Yeah. That's fucked up. And for her, it was really traumatic for her, really fucking traumatic for her, and she don't want to see me, not even now when I'm normal, you know, right? Yeah. That fucked her up. But I just woke up and I thought, I'm gonna die now. It's time, you know, right? Yeah. And I took a choice and said I need to fucking get better. So I was at that time I got into a university in England, Newcastle University, a prestigious fucking university. But you know, I had a severe fucking addiction. I couldn't go to Newcastle, not in England at all, with all the cocaine that is in England.
Well, were you still in a gang at that point?
No.
You were out?
Yeah.
How did you get out?
Of the gang?
Yeah.
Well, Black Cobra is disintegrated. It just, you know...
Just by itself?
Yeah, some people got to this gang and got to this gang. There was a lot of conflicts with the leadership in Black Cobra, so they just... Go to where the fuck ever they want to go, right? And I got an offer to go to this gang, and I said no. And we could get out of the gang with as a good standing. Yeah. And that's lucky. Yeah. That's very, very lucky and very, very rare. Yeah. So I was lucky at that point. But afterwards I got chopped, you know, right? Because all the people I've stepped the foot on, you know, fucked up, they were coming for revenge now, right? Yeah, so
because you don't have to back up from the
precisely.
From the group. Yeah.
So I was at a party in Nykøbing, and suddenly there's 5 guys just rushing into the apartment and say, "Where the fuck is Kenneth?" You know, right? And I was just there, you know, and he just the one guy that was the leader, you know, right? Took a knife out, and I said, "Don't in my stomach, don't chop me in my stomach, don't chop me in my stomach." So he just beat me up, and I was like, "Don't fucking stab me here, don't stab me here." And he said, "Fine, man." And he stabbed me in my face here, you know, right? Okay. And that was like, pooh, because now I'm on my own. Yeah. Now they're gonna fucking kill me, you know, right? Yeah. But I was, again, a little bit lucky. It was only a knife, you know, right? And I didn't get popped. Yeah,
of course. But to go back to the drugs and the school in England?
In England, yeah. I was, I got into the Newcastle University. Yeah. And I was dying. It was a slow suicide, you know, with these drugs, and I fucking knew it, you know. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna kill myself. So I used all the fucking money, 350,000 Danish crowns on rehab in Chile. Okay. Chile up in Jutland. Yeah. Jutland. Yeah. And that fucking saved my life. Okay. So Frans and Nikolaj, you saved my life. They were my psychotherapist. Yeah. And they were also addicts. All in Chile are addicts too. All the psychotherapists, everybody is a former addicts, you know, right? Yeah. And that works very, very good. Yeah. Better than you going to some social services shit and they have read in a book, this is how you are addict. Nobody...
Yeah, because an addict knows how an addict feels, but if you just read it in a book, At least for me, I also know other addicts, they don't have respect for those people because they don't know how it is. It's like when I was tortured, I can tell another person how it's like, but he would never understand unless he tried it himself.
True.
And it's the same thing with addiction. If a doctor, I know many doctors that have said to my friends, if they come to get help from their doctor because of their alcohol abuse or something like that, and the doctor says, yeah, well, you just have to learn how to drink social. Yeah, okay, I can do that. Yeah, and then nothing happens, you know. They don't understand.
No.
They don't understand that it actually is an addiction, and therefore the best thing to help an addict is a clean addict.
True.
So so that's true.
Yeah.
But did you miss the gangs when you get out? You didn't have time because you were doing drugs, of course. But when you got clean, did you miss the life?
Some aspect of it, you know. When you are in it and you feel this kind of status, you know, right? You feel above everyone else. That's a fucking dangerous feeling.
And people respect you.
Yeah. And that's dangerous because it feels fucking nice.
It's also addictive.
Yeah, it really is. And but you know, when I got clean, I was actually a bit happy to not in the start. I fucking hated being clean. I couldn't go to the shopping daily, what do you call it? Groceries, and I couldn't get a haircut without thinking, what the fuck is happening? This is the first time in 14 years I'm not fucked up. That was weird, really fucking weird. And also when you start to date, you know what? Clean, have to be your full self for another person. That's hard.
Yeah.
And you know, for other people, it's just I do that every day. But I haven't done it for 14 years.
Yeah.
So I'm just reborn. It's a new life for me.
I have to learn to walk again.
That took me about half a year for getting a little bit normal up in my head, you know, right? But after half a year, it felt good.
Yeah.
It felt better. And I was proud of being clean, you know, right? I'm not clean now, but I'm not taking drugs, but I'm drinking now. And I can also feel that's a little bit dangerous sometimes. I have the tendencies, you know, right?
Yeah, you do. But I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. It's your life, your funeral.
Yeah, true shit.
But I'll show up.
Yeah, I'm happy for that.
Well, we were talking earlier about what you miss from your old life, and I told you that what I miss is the dedication to each other, the brotherhood. You know, that's actually loyalty. That's the only thing I miss. That if I call someone up at 3 o'clock in the night, he will stand there with a gun in his pants and a shovel in his car. And even if his wife stands outside and yelling, and I'm gonna leave you, and we have this kid, he doesn't care. If I need him, he'll be there.
That's true.
Yeah, of course, that's not the norm in that. Most of the people in that environment are just people that talk. They don't know anything, and they're not loyal, and they're full of shit. But I had 3 or 4 guys that I could depend on, and they would be there for me, and I would be there for them. And we've been standing back to back many times in a fight, and I knew I could trust them.
Yeah.
It creates a bond like
blood.
Yeah, like soldiers who fight the war together. And when you have that kind of hatred to other people, or you've been at war, that creates a bond that can never be broken. And I have those people still in my life. I don't have them close to me. We don't talk. But when we meet each other, we know.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
We still know.
I got 4 of them too.
Yeah.
But we are good friends today, you know, still. Yeah. So I know at least 3 of them have my back still, you know, right? If somebody gonna pull up, they gonna pull up, boy. But you know, Yeah, but we all academics now, so it's weird shit.
You're boring.
Yeah, I'm a boring fuck.
Yeah. But how did you cope with the kind of normal life?
But I didn't cope with it because I can't be in it. I've last year when I started university, you know, right?
Yeah.
That was fucking hard because they are, normal, you know, right? And I thought I had to fit in.
Yeah.
So I started doing Xanax again. Okay. And after a month, I went back to Chile.
Okay.
Yeah. But got out of Chile and got a 12 in my project with my group. And then I thought to myself, okay, I can't do this shit. I can do this shit.
Yeah.
And now it's good. Now all good. Now everybody knows me at the university and think that's the crazy guy. But he puts in work, you know, right? Yeah. So it's all good.
So you.
I'm not normal.
I'm not normal too, because being normal and 9 to 5, I can't even do. Even if I could, I have PTSD, and I have my pension because of it. Mm-hmm. So if I was to have a 9 to 5 job, I would either kill myself or a lot of other people. But the thing is that I can't live a normal life. It's too fucking boring.
It is too fucking boring.
And that's why I have to also do this job I do with helping other people and using my skills from my fucked up life to help other people. And that gives me some opportunities to meet some fucked up people like myself. And we can associate with each other, and it gives a new aspect of my life that I miss, because I cannot have an ordinary job. I cannot go and drink tea with my neighbors and all those normal things. I even get sometimes when I have to visit my sister for a family gathering, a birthday or something. Then after seeing the family and hearing them talk about things that are not important and
I get it.
things that don't really matter. I don't care what the weather is.
Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about, man?
And you got a new car, great for you. I have my old one is still driving, and all these things. I get so tired because it feels so empty.
Yeah.
For me, it feels empty. I know it doesn't feel empty for them, because they lived another life, and I'm not judging them. But for me, I don't feel I fit in there.
I feel when we the lives we have lived, you know, right? You get a bit cynical.
Yeah.
A bit, you know, right? And what the fuck? That's not important, you know, right? But it is meant like a evil thing to say to them, you know, right? But we have experienced so fucked up things that's just out of my head what they're talking about, you know, right? I get it.
Yeah. But for me, I have to leave those places because I get so tired of all that nonsense and family feuds and
bullshit.
And talking about politics and shit. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Really, I don't. And,
just want to live your life.
Yeah, I just want to do my own thing, and as long as I'm allowed to do that, I don't care. Yeah. But if you come and tell me what I can do, I'll show you I can.
Yeah.
And that's because of what I have experienced in my life. Yeah. I just want to be left alone and do my own thing.
I get it.
Yeah,
I really get it.
You have it like that as well?
I will do. Yeah. That's why I do my podcast shit and documentaries, you know, right? At the university is very fluent, so you don't have to really show up. You just have to read.
Yeah,
and I'm autodidact, you know, right? So that's all great for me. Yeah. So I can do my podcast shit and grow this, you know, right? And maybe one day make an empire out of it. Hope so.
Yeah, of course you can. You got the will. And I think that's a good thing from recovering from being an addict, is that you have that, I just I pound it all the time because, I want this and I'm just going for it. So the other side of the coin, the bad thing about it is that I don't know when to stop. I just keep on going to start puking blood, and then I have to go on a vacation at the hospital. But otherwise, I don't have that stop button, you know.
And that's a fucking problem.
Yeah.
That's also for me. That is a problem. I don't know how to cope with that, actually. I can't really, because I'm in that shit right now.
I don't know if we will ever learn.
No.
I don't think
so. I can't see how.
No.
And it's also because of selverkendelse, eller ikke erkendelse, anerkendelse.
Yeah.
Recognition, you know, right? I need the recognition all the fucking time, you know, right? I just need it, and I want it from the other podcasters, and I want it from everybody, you know, right? And when I achieve that, it's not good enough. I want it from them now, and I want it from, you know, it's a never-ending circle.
I know.
Yeah.
It's like my father always told me when I was a child, "Oh, you're not good for nothing. You're ignorant. I can't use you for anything. You will never amount to anything." And all those things he was kind of pounding in my head, you know.
It sits here.
Yeah. And I have to prove to myself and the world that he was wrong.
True.
And I use all my energy to do that every day, every fucking day. And I look myself in the mirror, new fight, one day at a time. So it's tough.
Can you take it one day at a time? Jeg hælder lige altid ret over det.
Yeah. Just a minute. Drug addict.
Yeah.
Can I take it one day at a time? Yeah, sometimes. If I remember to relax and eat and drink and do all the things I'm supposed to, get my sleep. But mostly I don't.
Yeah. it's difficult.
It's the truth.
It's fucking difficult.
Because I only have this, maybe, I probably have another life somewhere, but when I don't think I have enough time, because there's so many things I want to do. And when I'm just sitting at home relaxing because I'm so fucking tired and I had 15 phone calls and I need to do all these things, I just sit down and watch a movie or something, I feel guilty. Because I could do something else. I could lawn the lawn, I could clean the house, or I could call this guy. But I'm just so tired, and it's like I'm not allowed to be tired.
Yeah. It's never good enough, you know.
No, I'm never good enough. I'm never gonna be good enough. So that thing that you have to prove to the world all the time, it's tiring.
Really tiring.
Yeah.
But that's also how you get your achievements, you know, right?
True.
Because all the greatest, not all the greatest, but most of the greatest have been to the fucking dark path, you know, right? And they're never stopping, because when they look back, it's only darkness. You can only look up, because if you look down, you're gonna fucking fall. Only up, always up, and go that way, you know, right? And that is tiring.
It's like you say, religious people are afraid of going to hell. Spiritual people, they already been there.
Yeah, true.
So it's like we know what hell is. So we are doing whatever we can not to go back there.
You ever done shrooms?
No, I never.
That's a spiritual experience if you do it with a psychotherapist, you know, right?
Yeah.
Or MDMA therapy, but you know, addicts say that shit, you know. Yeah, that's good on you, Kenneth. But you know, it really helps. Yeah. If I didn't take the shroom with a therapist, I wouldn't have been clean, and I wouldn't have acknowledged myself as a human being, as good as other people, you know, right? Yeah. That helps.
I know of some trials that have been in Mexico. Yeah. Many of the soldiers with PTSD, they go there and they get some kind of
psychedelic.
Yes, I don't remember what, but they get some treatment for that under the advisement of doctors, and it helps them.
It really does.
So I'm a little frightened of it, but
it's fucking.
I'm not gonna say anything bad about it, because I don't know, and if it helps people. People can get clean however they want. Yeah. It's not for me to decide.
That's a good thing to say, you know, right? At university, not in university, the hospitals in Denmark, you know, old people, they are allowed one through trip at the hospital, because so they're not afraid of death, and they aren't afraid of death afterwards.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's mind blowing.
Okay.
So it really helps people.
Yeah.
If it's done right, not at the club. Don't take shrooms at the fucking club. You gotta freak the fuck out. You gotta freak out.
And you don't never know what it is you're taking.
Yeah. You really gotta know about it and read about it and talk with professionals about it if you ever considering it. Never do it alone, right? Do it with professionals.
The only thing I ever took was cactus.
Mescaline eller hvad det går.
Yeah,
Peyote.
I was with some Indians. They did a ceremony when we were sitting in a teepee with.
So it was spiritual.
Yeah, it was spiritual. We sat for 24 hours. Just they banging the drum and talk. We were talking and singing, and we were eating this
cacti.
Yeah, it was. They had it with them from America as a powder, and then they put water in it, so it came like mush or something.
Yeah.
And then you eat it, and then some say they got some psychedelic visions of it. I didn't. I just puked for 12 hours.
That's not fun.
And it was black stuff coming out.
Sounds disgusting.
But the Indians said that it was cleaning my soul. So I felt great afterwards.
The Indians were not stupid.
But I didn't see any spirits. But I felt great.
Yeah.
I felt really great.
It might be good. It's nerve-wracking to see things.
They told me if I wanted to talk to spirits and stuff like that, I had to do it more times.
Yeah.
The Indians, they do it every week several times a week sometimes. But for me, I just had to try it because back then I was kind of, I just had to try as much as possible. I just wanted to feel better, And this was one of the things I tried. And it wasn't a bad experience. But it wasn't, back then I just got the diagnosis of PTSD. So for me, staying awake for 24 hours, that's
bad business.
Yeah, especially being clean.
Yeah.
That was actually the worst thing because my head was fucking me up all the time.
Man.
But the experience with getting cleaned out, that was actually okay.
Yeah. Cleansing.
Yeah, nice.
Do you believe in that soul cleansing?
Yeah, I believe in a lot of those. I believe in frequencies and stuff like that. And I have a guy that has in the club. He has he's a paranoid schizophrenic, and he had a very bad day a while ago, and I had these two silver cups about this size, and I used to do sometimes when I can't clear my head, I kind of clap them together and then hold them up to my ears, and that sound, it's kind of like it just zeroes out everything in my brain.
Yeah.
And he tried it a couple of times and actually works. So I believe in frequency and
cancelling the noise. In the brain.
Actually. So I think that there's a lot of ways of going about healing. It don't just has to be it has to be 12-step or it has to be drugs or whatever.
It can be what the fuck ever.
Yeah, if it works for you, it works for you.
Yeah, true.
And we are all different. Of course, we just have to be careful because we're all addicts. And,
true.
And we have to overdo everything.
Yeah.
It's our nature.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. But how did you cope with one thing that was also a little hard for me was being in an environment where you were ready to battle all the time when violence was the solution to most of your problems, and then coming to...
No, you can't use violence anymore?
Yeah, to school, you can't just hit your teacher if you said something bad or gives you homework.
Well, I think when I got clean, it just like faded a little bit away.
Okay.
As it goes, I have been a couple fights in when I'm out, right?
Yeah.
Also when I was clean, but that was all righteous shit, right? Some guy slapped me and I just fucking punched him in the face, right?
Yeah. Reflex.
Yeah. That's how it is, Yeah. But I don't have a violent nature now, and what I always have been good at, I'm always good at speaking. I can always talk, right? So I thought I didn't really have any problems, you know, right? So I didn't really have to cope so much with that problem. I think that really the drugs and the darkness and all that shit, when that faded away, then I could live in my normal being as I am now, you know.
Yeah.
So it just faded along the way. I still have a high temperament, but I don't hit. I just, you know, sit for myself and hot-headed. But yeah, you know, it's all good. Okay. I think so. That wasn't the worst.
No, it wasn't that easy for me because and now it's kind of the opposite, or maybe not. I don't know how to explain it, but when I get when someone comes at me with words or something like that, and I kind of just go away because I don't want to fight, and hearing them laugh at me behind my back.
That hurts. That's not funny. I couldn't take that either.
Because I know that if I turn around at that moment, I'm going to jail.
Yeah.
And if I start, I don't know if I can stop.
No.
I'm just gonna. I did that with one episode. I think I talked about it in my first book, where we were at a place, a bar with music, and suddenly one of my friends' girlfriend, she's freaking out, and she got some white around her mouth, and she can't see out of her eyes, and someone put drugs in her drink, and I saw a guy with some pills, and I ran after him, and he tried to escape through the back door, and two of my other friends were in the back of me, and I get on top of this guy, and I just pound him to, basically I got his blood all over me. And my two friends, they dragged me away, and if they hadn't done that, I wouldn't have been able to stop, because back then I had so much rage in me, and doing something like that, I couldn't even imagine doing something like that as clean. So I saw myself as an evil person, but if he can do something like that, he must be worse, and then he has to die. And that was kind of the thing I had.
The logic, yeah.
Yeah, and the logic in my brain. And it's fucked up, but that's how I felt. And when that switch is turned on, I can't stop it. Someone else has to do it. Yeah.
But I also have like that. Just because I'm clean, I don't have to be a pacifist, you know, right? If people really want to do something, then I'm still available for that shit, you know, right? But it really has to be at the edge. Yeah. But then
last solution.
Yeah, and that's good. It's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war, you know, right?
Yeah.
And that we have it in us.
Yeah.
So you know, I think that's a good thing to be capable of having a monster, but keep it on a leash, you know, right?
Yeah.
Because the world is dangerous, and the world is fucked up, and people are fucked up. You can't trust everybody, you know.
No.
I'm sounding paranoid as fuck, but you know what? You get me, you know, right?
People have their own agenda.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be evil, but people, they fend for themselves. That's how it is.
Yeah, it really is.
Of course. But it's very hard to change the way of life, I think, like that. But for me, I had to, when I changed my life, especially from the Nazi party, well, that was easy because they just cut me off.
Yeah.
But at the gangs and the motorcycle environment, I had to cut it off as well to stay clean and get out of it. And I haven't been able to have a leg in each camp. if I want out, I had to leave everything behind and just go away.
You really have to do that.
Yeah. And it's like I usually say, if you want to stop drinking, you can't sit in a bar 8 hours a day. It doesn't work like that.
It's gonna fuck you up.
Yeah. But you said you were still friends with some from the old days.
No, my old guys, but they are all also academics now.
Okay, they also got out.
Yeah, two of them are.
Yeah.
So they're out. I don't associate with the old environment.
No.
Only in my podcast, in my documentaries and all that. You know, right?
Yeah.
I don't associate with criminals.
No.
But I will do a podcast with them.
Yeah.
Because it's good for people to see how they really are. There are also a person behind the pusher. There's also a person behind the murderer. But who the fuck are they? You know, right? It fascinates me.
Yeah, but it's also something that people don't know is that being a pusher is one thing, but if you want to stop, you can't just stop. Because your customers want their things.
Yeah, and you get it someplace from, you know, right?
Yeah.
And they want their money too.
Yeah.
So if you're cutting the blood flow for them, then it's bad business.
Yeah.
And bad business mean bad things gonna happen to you.
Yeah.
Really.
Exactly. So when you're in, you're in.
Yeah.
You're not just gonna leave.
No.
And I think that's something that a lot of people going in, they don't realize, and people outside that environment, they don't even know about it.
A lot of people going in, they are only but children, you know, right?
Yeah.
So they don't understand it. They don't understand they're gonna grow up someday and have choices to make and decisions, and you know, right? But now they're in it for good, or else they're gonna get popped.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah, it's really sad. And it's also sad that in a country like Denmark, we don't have any successful organization that can help people get out of gangs. There is a system with the police they use in jail if someone wants to get clean and get out of your gang. But mostly because they put the police in charge of it, it doesn't work because they want to know who you were associated with, what did you do, who you do it with, and it's like a death sentence. You can't snitch.
You can snitch.
No, of course not.
So
it doesn't work.
No, it isn't for helping them. It's for getting information about the bigger picture, right? That is fucked up.
There is a few organizations that helps also with former gang members, like we talked about earlier, former addicts, helping addicts, and former gang members helping gang members.
Yes.
It's how it works. It's how it always worked, and it's the only thing that works,
it is,
after my opinion.
That's why I'm mentoring, you know, right? Because I know I can help these guys, but a normal social worker can't really help them because they're not going to listen to anybody just look like a suburban kid. They're going to listen to the guy with tattoos and scars on his face. They're going to listen to him. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe, but you know, there's better chances of it.
Yeah, because you understand them. The government people don't.
No, they really don't.
It's just your job, actually.
Mm.
Even if they like it and even if they like helping people, still it's just a job.
Yeah, no bad words to them because they're trying, but it ain't work.
They don't know. They really don't. So, yeah. What about relationships?
With the girls?
Yeah.
That's fucking tricky, bro. That's a tricky shit. Yeah, that was fucking tricky. I really couldn't. I was a sex addict, you know what? I just wanted to pound, you know, right? Because I had a bad self-worth, bad
confidence.
Bad confidence, yeah, right? So I thought getting a lot of girls was, I felt better in that moment where I'm fucking. But to connect with another person, that's a whole another different level. I still struggle with it today.
Yeah.
I have a girlfriend and I love her, but it's still hard, you know, right? Because I can't give myself 100% to her. Because what if I lose her, you know, right? Then I'm going back to when I lost my sister, you know, right? It sits in me. Yeah. It really sits in me, and that's hard. Yeah. And after I got clean, you know, but fucking for the first time clean, that's weird. That's fucking weird. And you yeah, but it's just fucking, that's hard. Yeah. Because you don't know what the fuck is going on, because it's too intimate. Yeah. It isn't just fucking. It's something loving, you know, right? And I didn't understand loving. I only understand fucking, not having intimate sex. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
That was hard, and it's still hard. Yeah. It's still hard to have normal sex with my girlfriend, you know what? I still have that in me. Yeah. And I'm just gonna throw her around and fuck her from the behind. It's easier. Because then I don't have to have intimate eye contact and all that shit. Yeah. It feels too personal for me. Yeah. And that's the issue. So I'm talking with my therapist on Friday, next Friday. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, for me, I also been a sex addict, and mine started very early because I can't remember when I was younger that I ever had a positive feeling inside my body. I never remember anything at all that was positive. Always negative. Always. All the time. And then when I was 16, I get, I was 14, sorry. When I was 14, I get almost raped by a drunk woman that wanted sex after a party. And for me, that was kind of, this must be love. This must be love, because I never knew about it. So I kind of, sex and love, that was the same thing for me. And that also became a drug for me, of course, because I want more of this. This feels nice. I want more. And I also have problems with distinguishing sex from love, and it's hard having it at the same time. I can be loving towards my girlfriend, and we can hug and we can kiss. We can tell us we love each other, and I can pat you on the back and stuff. But when we have sex, we have sex.
I get it.
I don't. Maybe we are doing it right. Maybe no. I don't know, because I never had that.
But the understanding of it,
yeah. So, but it works for us. And if it don't work anymore at some point, then we'll have to fix it.
Yeah, true.
And we will, because that's the connection we have.
That's love.
But it was a big problem for many years. Yeah. And it was like telling my children that I love them. That doesn't come easy for me. I have to remember myself. You have to tell them. But I forget, because no one told me when I was a child. So it's fucked up.
It is fucked up.
And it's very hard to give someone something that you never received yourself. Yeah. So you can learn a lot about reading books, but if you never got it in person, that's hard.
It is.
Yeah. So, yeah, but what are you working on now?
Yeah, well, I'm working on a documentary, you know, right?
Yeah, I heard about it.
With the star in it, you know. But I'm working on that right now, you know, right? And my podcasting, of course, and my university, but it all goes together. But the documentary right now is my first priority. Yeah. And I'm gonna pitch it to a big production company, two actually. And hoping we are gonna get out with it, because it's important stories to tell. Yeah. Because the normal society doesn't really understand it. I think so. Yeah. And they gotta see, even though also to the people living in darkness right now, even though you're in darkness, you can get success. It's you can achieve it. Yeah. But you just have to leave the darkness behind and search for the fucking light. And it is possible. I remember when I just got out of rehab, I thought the world is fucked up. I can't do this. But then you will progress and you get the steps, mini steps, baby steps, and then bigger steps, and then you are there. You're gonna get it if you just keep going, and that's so important, because it's really dark when you are in it.
Yeah, and that's why it's important that people like you and me tell our stories, so people know when they're sitting in the shit that there's actually a way out.
Exactly.
They don't have to be there.
Yeah.
And I think that's very important. I think it's great work you're doing.
Thank you.
Especially in Denmark here, where we have a government that thinks that punishment is the only solution to every problem.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if you get longer sentences and bigger fines. It doesn't change anything. No. People do the same things. Yeah. They don't. If you're gonna rob a store or beat someone up, you don't say, "Hey, maybe we should think about this because we might get 2 years in jail for this."
That's right.
They don't.
No.
They just do it because they think it's necessary.
Yeah. So the government have to re-socialize people a lot more, rehabilitate.
In Norway, they have another system where they actually, when people get into jail, they teach them how to interact in a normal society. Especially if they have longer sentences, then before they get out, they get a place where it's actually an island where they live, and they have to take care of their own home. They have to wash and clean and everything.
Learning life.
Yeah, and they have to buy their own groceries. They have to get up every morning, make their bed, like normal people. They learn. You don't learn by just getting beaten by the guard 3 times a day or something like that. So
or associated with other hardcore criminals, it's just a recipe book. When you go to jail first time, you're gonna be a better criminal when you're gonna get out, right?
And you get more connections when you're inside, and
that's the problem.
You get all the good tips. So that's a big problem, I think, actually.
It is a big problem. And it's also, the government have to catch the criminals when they're young, not when they're 15 years old. They're lost.
Yeah.
When 7, 8 years old, 9 years old, when the government have something to say to them, and they maybe gonna listen. Because when you're 15 years old, don't give a fuck about the government.
Yeah, and then you're already fucked up.
Yeah. You maybe stab someone for the first time. You are in the darkness.
Yeah.
But when you're a child, you're still a little bit pure, right? Even though that you live in darkness.
But I think that's the way of all politicians, because they helping someone at a younger age with no physical result, they don't want to spend that money, even though they don't see it on the long term. But if you spend this money now on the young people, they're not going to cost you money when they get older, because they're going to keep out of gangs and stuff like that. They don't think about
it. It's cheaper in the long end,
They only think about here and now.
Yeah.
They
that's
don't
stupid.
think long term.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah. It's the bottom line always. And you can't run a country like that after
No, you can't.
My view. But it happens. It's how society is, and we can't do anything about it.
No, we can't do shit.
We can show the way for other people, especially the people that have been where we are. And I think we are doing a good job about that.
It works. I can see my DMs and Instagrams, when people write private messages, right? So it helps me.
They can associate with what you're doing.
And that's all for me, right?
Yeah.
That's the only thing I need.
Yeah, and that actually gives, for me at least, it gives me quality of life.
It really does.
Yeah, it gives me that edge that I'm missing from the normal.
Yeah. A purpose.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but you're not, there's nothing you miss from the old days?
No, I miss doing fucking cocaine. I miss it. I miss that shit. I missed it, right? That's why I did it. It felt good, right? So many people ask me why did you do drugs? Because it feels great. Why do you drink alcohol? Because it feels fucking great. That's why I do it, right? But
the consequences is not so great.
They are awful. Yeah. Awful. And the crying nights alone, right? When you've done drugs and you've been up all night and everything is terrible, right? Yeah, that's pure fucking darkness. But yeah, of course I miss it. I think every addict's gotta keep himself on the toes, right? For to not get back into it. Because when things get hard, you just snort a fucking line. But then it's just gonna get worse and worse, and progressively you're gonna die at the end. You know, right?
It's like I see it. It's like the kid in you. You want the recognition here and now. You want the candy here and now. You don't think of the consequences afterwards.
Precisely.
And especially when you're in a lot of pain, it's easy to fall back. If you don't have other tools to help you, if you don't have a good network of people, if you don't have some, for me, never say never, but for me, relapse is not an option because I have too much to lose.
Yeah.
I have a beautiful girlfriend that I love over everything in my life. I'm international president of a clean and sober club.
You can't really relapse. That would be bad.
That would be very bad. So for me, it's not an option.
No.
I have to find another solution for my problems.
Yeah.
And otherwise, it will be too expensive. There's not a something to gain by relapsing for me. It's the opposite. So therefore, it should be.
Det kommer nu. Ja, jeg tror det kommer. 2 seconds.
It should be. It's important. Yeah, it's important to have something positive in your life.
Yeah, it is. I also have my family and university and all the things I do. That's the only thing that's keeping me from drugs, I think. Yeah. But I still do alcohol, right? I know that's risky fucking business because alcohol leads someday. I know it also. If I'm drinking as a half a year, then I'm about half a year. I'm gonna say I'm just do a little bit of glow, right? Yeah. And then I'm fucking back on rehab and hate myself and hate everything, and then I'm gonna get back, progress, and
then I'm gonna tell you I told you so.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna go that way. I can't. That ain't the option. But I'm gonna fuck everything up, and I got a lot of things going good for me, Yeah. But that's the bad thing, I'm self-destructive. So when everything's good, I'm gonna fuck it up, but not this time. No, not this time.
Hopefully not.
No. Is
there some last words you wanna say to the listeners before we?
Don't do drugs.
Don't listen to this.
No, don't fucking do drugs at all. But just keep positive. Stay positive. It's always gonna be a brighter day tomorrow. It really does get better.
Great.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you for being here. And remember, don't have a good day. Have a great one. See you next time.